In the area of flogging, we are not missing anything. It's the most stubborn boy, bring them to me. The most stubborn girl in school, bring them to me. Love conquers. You can't intimidate a child that is from a gentle parenting home. You can't bully them. So they are not afraid. Even when they are wrong, they'll come and tell you. Gentle parenting is harder than the traditional parenting. Teaching, not correction. When we are old and gray, the children will want to be around. Truth is, once a child leaves your home for the university, you have lost that child.
Oh, wow.
And now that success is just like this, a child can be 10 and is already earning millions.
Beautiful people, we're back again with your unscripted podcast, the one and only Unscripted Sit, your one-stop shop for unscripted, raw, and pure conversations. It's your girl, Z, the Gen Z of the house, as you know. And of course, I cannot be alone in the studio. When am I ever alone? I have my amazing co-host. I have, like he likes to call himself, the Utonwa Shawarma Barbecue. What else do you like to call yourself?
Anything sweet.
Anything sweet.
Diabetes man.
I have with me Edafe, the mouthpiece.
Gracias.
Of course, he can't be the only one with me in the studio, because if he's the only one with me, it's going to go down. Anyways, I have the beautiful, the delectable, the one and only, Ankara Queen herself, Debbie Billions. See that Billions? It is very, very necessary.
Very necessary.
Hello, Debbie.
Hello, Z.
And of course, we cannot be alone in the studio. We have with us an amazing, beautiful woman. She is an educational consultant, a teacher. Like, she's mind-blowing. The things that this woman has done and does, oh my God. I went through her profile and I was astounded. We have Tolulokbe Efetiri. Hello, ma.
Hello, ma.
Welcome.
And we'll be discussing something that it is not your regular, but it is very important. Nowadays, many people raise children and they say, oh, I don't want to beat my child. Or, oh, all the suffer that my children will suffer, I have suffered it in my lifetime. Don't worry, I carry them. Please, nobody should touch my child. Please don't beat my child. Today, we are discussing gentle parenting. Is it a hit or a miss? We'll find out in this episode.
And we also want to thank our wonderful sponsors, Ico Gas and Owawa Restaurant, and also Wigs by Nikki.
Yes, we're also thanking Cherish Empire for this beautiful clothing that we have on today, and Adie's Glam for this beat on our faces. Take a look at it now.
You look yummy.
The mouthpiece.
I'm just kidding.
The mouthpiece. We love you like that.
No, but you look beautiful.
Thank you. And you also look wonderful, ma.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. So, we're curious, ma. Can you please tell us, in your own words, what is gentle parenting?
Okay, gentle parenting is a parenting approach that focuses on respect for the child, focusing on understanding the child, and focusing on empathy. Being empathetic towards the child's feeling and not dismissal, not dismissing the child's feeling, which is the way we were brought up. Majority of us.
Majority of us were actually brought up with, before you talk like this and your parents are already giving you one.
Yes.
This is going
you are not even allowed to talk. You are just
don't count.
Your opinions don't count.
Yes, that's true. Many of us grew up in situations where our opinions don't count. Before you even speak up, you have no right to even sit down in the sitting room where your parents are there.
Like you
have no right
outside and you're already looking for it to behave yourself.
You go inside your room. You don't stay.
You get upfront beating. Like, you've not committed the crime, but they're already beating you up for future crime. Mouthpiece, I don't trust you being a victim, because you seem like you were.
No, now these parents of this time, what they do is, if they want to discipline the child, they just say you're grounded. Go to your room and play PS4. You're grounded. Which room we get?
But I'm curious, Mrs. Tolu, when you say, he just mentioned grounding, do you think grounding is a viable punishment for a child?
Yes, grounding is, but you must have it must be an intentional act that must have a result. It must be geared towards a result, not just grounding for grounding's sake, or I'm grounding you because I'm angry, or I'm grounding you because I just need space or something. No, and that's where a lot of people miss it, and that's where gentle parenting is under the radar for being not good. You know, majority of people think it's not good, but it's because it's not done intentionally. You must have an intention. You must have a goal. I'm grounding you not just because I'm angry, but because I want to redirect your mind. I want to redirect your actions. And if you want to do that, you have to tell the child how the redirection will take place, or what you are redirecting the child to. So as soon as is the word we use, as soon as I see that you have an understanding of this thing that you are doing wrong, I'm going to reverse the grounding. Or I'm going to do something to make you feel better for being grounded. You know? So you see the child wanting to holistically, not just for you to be pleased, for wanting to change
and do things better.
Wow,
that's nice. Amazing. That's really nice. I learned something as soon as
directing. I like the way she said you have to make them understand.
Many people don't actually let their children or let their words understand the things that they are being punished. They just punish. And I've noticed it in traditional punishing methods. They just punish, and you don't even know what you did. You don't. And you
most
don't know
of the
how
times
to
we
correct
actually didn't know what we did.
So many times.
But because they know that we are still going to do something, like using myself as an example, my mom will always spank me. This is the recent word, spank, then beat. She will beat me. Like, waiting I do. You don't do anything, but you don't get how.
You don't go do something later. You must do something where I go to beat you.
Now, growing up as a child, there's usually this thing our parents they do. They usually use sign language. Like if a visitor is in the house, they look at you and already you understand. Now, if you're doing that to this modern day parenting, looking at your child, and when a visitor is there, they should understand that you need a privacy to talk to that person. So would you actually say, or what are the major differences between that traditional way of parenting compared to this gentle parenting?
Actually, there's a slogan that has been ringing in my head for quite some days now, which I also put on my platform. It's don't throw the baby away with the bathwater. Our parents, they did so well for that civilization that they were in. Our civilization is different, but there are still some very good things that they did. One of them is this I language. I want my children to look at me and be able to understand
this at this point.
Yes, but it's a bit difficult. I don't know how we learned it. Maybe but it's really a bit difficult telling the kids. So sometimes you have to be verbal. So sometimes I'm on the call and I'm telling my 10-year-old daughter, I don't want you to be in this call. I don't want you to hear what I'm saying. Please, can you go to your room? Sometimes I have to say it very emphatically so that she knows that I'm serious, because they want to sit in. They don't have those cues. But gradually I see she asks, Mommy, you don't want me here? And I'm like, okay, yeah, you need to go. So gradually the training is going on for my own 10-year-old daughter. But generally in schools we say that children don't really understand whether they just want to say what is on their mind. They want to be there.
They're very expressive.
But for us, it's just to be gently guiding them. Now you don't have to talk. Children nowadays don't know when to talk.
Yeah, they are so expressive. Like
they just we are talking now, and they are just shouting, "Mommy, mommy!" And I'm like, "What?" One of the first thing I check to see if you are training your child well, whether you tell me you are beating the child or you are doing whatever you are doing, is how the child comports his or herself outside, and in the presence of people. So when your child does not know these cues, it shows that your parenting. It's not
because I know my 8-year-old, if I'm looking at him like this when there's a visitor, I'll be like, Daddy, what's wrong with your eye?
Then you actually need to check your parenting style, actually.
So you said to the child there and then, I will need you to go inside. That's why I'm doing that. So the next time
they know that is why you were giving that eye signal or that cue.
So Ma, what are the long-term benefits of gentle parenting?
Okay. The first one is that when we are old and gray, the children will want to be around.
Oh, wow.
If you check majority of my mates, they're not interested in really going home to
their parents. Yes,
they're so carried away with hustle. Okay, I send the money, take care of yourself. But there should be that bond. We don't. And I'm sorry to say, even though the let me say the West, they have a lot of they've gotten it wrong on so many areas. But the ones that do get it right, they get it right. You see that bonding. Some of them, they can't do without their children. Yes, they maybe 80% will go and put them in nursing home and all those, but the ones that get it right, the ones that didn't give that harsh treatment, and you see their children always wanting to be with their parents, always wanting to, and that's one of the benefit of that's what we are doing. So, because the truth is, once a child leaves your home for the university, you have lost that child.
Oh wow, that's a strong word.
It takes whatever it is that you have built
to bring them back home.
And now that success is just like this, a child can be 10 and is already earning millions.
True.
So before we would still depend on daddy to give me stipends, mommy to give me food stuff, even when I'm in a. Now some of them don't need those.
Yes, true.
So what brings them back? What connects them to you? So it depends on the way you treat them right now.
So really, I like that long-term benefits, because you find that many people in my generation, the Gen Zs now, they really don't, because of, I don't know about many people, but at least I know most people I graduated with, they don't want to go back home after school.
Even my own
They just want to. You find people who they graduate school and they get apartments on their own, because home was just for them was just a provision place.
And we used to look forward to leaving the house. I still remember at 16 I was already looking for a way to leave my house. Like I just want to get there.
Come back to this house. Why? Because of
I did that.
Not like how the upbringing was, but maybe like I feel like our parents' generations, the older people, they did what suited that time that they were raising us. And I don't really blame many of them for how they raised us, because it's not their fault.
I also think at that time it was working for them.
Yes, it worked for them at that time.
But not now.
That was what was passed
on to them. Yes, that's true. That was what was passed on to them.
Now, a different thing. We are passing on something different to the next generation, but we must pass it on rightly.
So as a teacher, would you rather say that flogging a child now is wrong? Because in these are schools presently, they don't flog. They only shout. Now if you I have a friend, he shouted at the child, he was dismissed. He said, you don't talk to our children that way. Exactly. Now, in our days, if you misbehave, your parents will tell you, I will report you to your teacher. That word alone brings sanity to you. So would you trying to compare this modern era of parenting and the traditional way, would you say we are actually missing something?
Okay, in the area of flogging, we are not missing anything.
Okay.
Yes, we are not missing anything. It is in the ways that we go about this so-called gentle parenting that majority of us are missing it.
Okay.
So flogging, actually, even in the rights of a child right now, it's an abuse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hitting a child, it's an abuse. It's still permissive, as in it's still allowed or allowed here.
Yes, yeah.
In Nigeria and Africa, but in the UK, I teach children in the UK.
Okay.
It is foreign to them. They don't even have the mental picture of what flogging means.
Oh wow! So they can't relate.
They don't even know what
they can't relate. So so imagine if it happens to someone, it's a big deal.
Yes.
It's abuse of the first order. But here in Nigeria, majority of parents flog their children at home.
Yeah.
But they don't want the teacher to flog their kids.
Yeah.
That's where we are getting it wrong, one. Because the child is used to flogging. Yeah. And then it comes to an environment that they are not flogging. The first thing is they will first of all misbehave.
That's the first thing.
And they will do it to try you so that what can you do? What can you do? You can't do anything.
Yeah.
So for me, I will advise the parents, so I started this journey from 2008.
Wow.
Okay. When I finished my NYC and I applied to a school in Sapele, and it was headed by an American woman, a white woman.
Okay.
So in that school, you do not yell and you do not beat. You do not touch the child.
No matter the offense.
No matter the offense.
So what do you do?
It took me like a year or two to adapt. In fact, we now devise means of when you do like this. And at a time, my nails peeled a child's face, and I couldn't sleep for days because I was just waiting for them to tell me,
"You're sacked.
You're fired." Wow. But gradually I learned it, and I can tell you that my 10-year-old daughter now have never flogged her.
Wow.